Hebrew Israelite group or religion. ISUPK stands on its own merit. I'm Officer 50, Yanazar, here in Durham, North Carolina. I'm holding the class down until one of the higher ranking officers come. Hopefully it'll be Captain Nayathat will come and for further edification. But in the meantime, I'll hold it down and try to bring something to you the best that I can. Once again, this is ISUPK under Commanding General Yahana, and we're in Durham, North Carolina. And tonight is the Monday night scripture breakdown history class. Now, if you have any questions or if you need any breakdowns, you can send them in the chat, put them in the chat, and we'll take them. And if I can answer them, I will. And if I can't, I'll write them down and we'll give it to Captain Nayathat when he comes. That's what we'll do. Okay. But in the meantime, once again, Shalom Israel, the people that I love, you understand, the people that I live for, you understand, in this world, in this life, the people that the ISUPK love and stand for and fight for and feed. We just had a food drive down in Fayetteville, and that was like maybe my 6th or 7th food drive. It was really beautiful because it was in a park, and it was a very nice family setting, and it was children outside playing, and they had a nice mural out there. They had the basketball courts were full, and it was like home for me. It was really nice, and it was enjoyable. Everybody had a good time, man. That's one thing about the UPK I gotta say, man. When we have our, outings, there's never any problems, man. Nobody ever fights. Nobody cusses nobody out, man. It's just brotherhood and sisterhood at the highest level that I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, right. I'm telling you, this is the truth. There's no arguments. The sisters are not arguing. The brothers are not fighting. Everybody laughing, having a good time, man. And we feeding the people, man. Like we gave out a lot of food. Now I had to do the Sabbath service. So by the time that we got down there, myself and Trooper Maya Shaw, by the time we got down there, and Officer Mahaya as well, they had gave away most of the food. We got down there, about 12? Close to 1. Because we left here about 12. We got down there around 1 o'clock. And they had gave away most of the food, and we just stayed out there, and people was coming. Even after we packed up, people were still coming, But the whole thing is that the atmosphere was so beautiful. Like, it was really like maybe the best food drive that I've been a part of, as far as the atmosphere, and the location was really wild as well. It was really nice, man. And once again, let's give it up for Commander General Yohana. He did it. This is what we do, man. In the ISUPK, we feed our people. We do whatever we can, but most of all, we tell you the truth. Right. That Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true Jews of the Bible. You understand what I'm saying? And that in order for us to get out of this mess that we're in, this captivity, this slavery that we're still in, there's only one way out of it. And that is to return to the Most High in Christ. In the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana. This is the home of the truth. Right. All these other Hebrew Israelite fake groups, they all sprang out of here and started their own doctrine. But here's the original doctrine. The One West doctrine started in 1969 out of One West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Right. And this doctrine has been consistent and has raised up thousands and thousands of our brothers and saved my life, first of all, let me say that, in hundreds and thousands of other brothers' lives, man. Right. You understand? We came up out of this world and all the wicked things that's in it, you understand, to uphold, to do, to hear, and to do the commandments of the Most High Power, man. That's what we do in the ISUPK. We don't read about the law and talk about the law. We do the law. We follow the law. You understand what I'm saying? Right. And that's special in this world. The ISUPK is a special place, man. It's the best place I ever been in my life. You understand? ISUPK. You understand? So if you're a Black, Hispanic, or Native American, or what they call First Nation person, beautiful, wonderful people. You understand what I'm saying? You're my brother. You're my sister. You understand what I'm saying? And whatever I say here is for your benefit. Whatever we say in these classes is for you. You understand? Let me have Zephaniah 2:1, please. We're going to start with that. It's important because the Most High has promised us that he was going to bring us back together as a family, as a nation. You understand? And that's what this is all about. That's the essence of what we do. We follow Lord in Christ, the statutes and commandments for the purpose of unifying our people and bringing them back into the fold of the Most High. Right. So he could take us up out of here, man, because in store for us who return to the Most High and do what he asked us, what he commanded us to do, is a great reward waiting for us. And it's not some mystical place up in the sky or someplace, another planet or whatever these people talk about. It's right here on the earth, man. This is our home. We never leaving here. Why should we? We got everything we ever going to need is here. You go ahead out there. Oh, that's another one I wanted to. Okay, so yeah, that just reminded me of something. I don't know the name of it, but it was okay. This is for you. You got that, brother? Read it.
Okay. It's the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
Read it again, slow from the top.
It's the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together.
This is the Most High's commandment. He's saying, gather yourselves together. He's speaking to a particular people, his people, right, known in the Bible and throughout the world as the Israelites. Yasha'Allah in the Hebrew.
Right.
Read on, my brother.
Yea, gather together.
He says it again. Gather together. Gather yourself together. Gather together. Yea. Read on.
O nation not desired.
O nation not desired. Now you see how much is in one little statement?
Right.
What is it? 2 sentences, 3 sentences? And it's like, you can't even hardly, I could do a whole class on just that one verse. Yeah, right. You understand? Because it's all about us returning to the Most High power and to each other and turning to ourselves, back to ourselves. This is what the Most High wanted from the gate, from the beginning. Right. He wanted us to be a holy, give me Deuteronomy 7:6. He wanted us to be a separate, holy people, man. An example to the nations, you understand? The other nations were supposed to look at us. We were supposed to rule this earth. But we had to do something. We had to obey the law, statutes, and commandments, man.
Right.
He wants us to come back together. We're a family, an extended family. That's what a nation is. It's just an extended family. By bloodline and seed line, man. That's what it is. It's not a nation like if you go over to Africa and you got 54 different countries and nations are split by borders that the oppressor put on them. You understand? That's not a nation. A nation is a nationality, a bloodline, an extended family. That's what it is. You understand? You got a question? Okay. So, with that being said, I'm going to read this. This brother's going to read this scripture for you. Read, my brother.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people.
Now, for thou, he's talking to a particular nation, Deuteronomy 7:6. Thou art an holy people. Holy just means a separate people or a set apart people. That's what it means.
That's right.
Read on.
Unto the Lord thy power.
Unto the Lord thy power, thy God. The word God just means power. That's why you hear the brother say, instead of saying God, he'll say power. You understand what I'm saying? Because God is not the name of the Most High.
That's right.
God just means power. It's from German. It means power. Read on.
Come. The Lord thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
The Lord thy power has chosen you, Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, to be a special people unto himself. For him. Not for the other nations to exploit and to beat down, you understand, and to hate upon, but for him. But there was something that we had to do. Read on.
Come. Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Above all people. See, that's the thing, man. Hey, man, that fills my heart with joy every time I read this.
Right.
Being that you're the greatest people that ever walked the face of the earth, man. That's what the Most High just says right there. Above all people that are upon the face of the earth. That's a hell of a statement. So
right.
The two, Zephaniah 2:1, Deuteronomy 7:6. Those are the two scriptures that I had the brother read for you. And those are foundation scriptures. You understand what I'm saying? That's the foundation of what we do. You understand? You're not a spiritual Israelite. You're an Israelite by nation, by nationality, by seed, by bloodline.
That's right.
You understand? And if you need to know more, we have schools all over America. We have a school right in here. What is it? 2534 South Roxborough Street, Durham, North Carolina.
Right.
Okay. We have classes every night, Monday through Friday. Come right in, come to class and learn who you really are and what this world is really about. What's really going on in this earth according to the Most High power. Not according to me, not according to Commanding General Yohana, according to the Most High. Because what we say is in accordance to what he gave us. You understand? His message to us. You understand? Because the Bible is a message or I can't think of the word that I want to use right now, but it's for us. That Bible is exclusively to Israelites.
Right.
This is one of the things that they will never teach you ever anywhere on this earth except in the ISUPK. Go ahead, bro.
So like I said, what you're saying is so heavy because what the Christian church and everyone else want to try to do is make this book inclusive when it is in fact exclusively for Israel, sir.
Absolutely, brother. Give that brother a hand for that because that's the truth. The Bible is an exclusive book. If you really learn the Bible and understand the Bible, you see that they always talk about Israelites. The Most High only says he loved one nation in the whole Bible. I challenge anyone living. I don't care if you're the greatest scholar on this earth, or I don't care if you're just a brother down the street who's greater than the greatest scholar on earth. If you can find in the Bible where the Most High loves another nation other than Israel, please inform us of that. Because we've been looking since 1969, right? And we haven't found it yet. You understand? The only nation he says he loves in that Bible is Israel.
That's right.
Israel is forgive me, what is it? Exodus 4:22. Give me Exodus 4:22. I'm just going to give you a little evidence as to what I'm talking about. And then we're going to get into a little bit of current events. And then I'm going to try to get a little topic that's related to some of the current events today that's going on in the earth when you got that Baba Kashah.
Come. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 4, verse 22. And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord, Israel is my son, even my firstborn.
Israel is his son, his firstborn.
That's right.
Now, everybody knows how they feel about their firstborn child. When that first child comes, man, I mean, that might have been like my firstborn child was born in my house with a midwife. I'm always bragging about that because I love that. And I remember that feeling, man. My son, when he came out, my firstborn son, when he came out, man, it was one of the most, if not the most intense moment of my life, bar none. So the Most High is saying that Israel, read it again for me, my brother, if you could, Baba Kashar.
Kamikaze, book of Exodus, chapter 4, verse 22. And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. Israel is his firstborn son, man. What does that tell you? That they're very special to the Most High. Damn right.
Like he don't care about, like in our culture, the firstborn gets the lion's share of the inheritance. Right. because that's how special it is, because that's the beginning of his strength. Your son, your firstborn son, is the beginning of your strength. You understand? And so like I said, could you bring me water? Oh yeah, oh I got some already. Some water. Some water. The beginning of his strength. You know, the beginning of your love for your offspring is your firstborn son. Right. So I'm just trying to show a little parallel between how we feel about ours in comparison to what I said, in comparison to how the Most High feels about Israel. And we look at Israel sometimes and we don't see it because of the condition we're in. Right. But once you learn why you're in that condition, and that your condition is almost the condition that you're in is almost at its end, and you'll appreciate what we're doing. You'll appreciate the Most High in Christ. You understand? And for all of you people out there who didn't know, Christ came for the Israelites as well. Let me have Matthew 15:24. I'm just giving you basic scriptures that the whole foundation of the ISUPK is built upon. You understand? Israelites, Christ and the Israelites, Most High and the Israelites, the prophets are Israelites, the apostles are Israelites, Job's, Ezekiel's an Israelite, all the prophets are Israelites, you understand?
Right.
Isaiah, you understand? All of them are Israelites. You got it?
Okay. The book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
That's Christ speaking. Matthew 15:24. He said, I only came for the Israelites. Read it one more time.
God, it's the book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
You see, Christ only came for the Israelites. Now, y'all talk about Christ. Christ was perfect. Oh, he Christ this, Christ that. But you don't believe this, though. You don't believe when he said that he only came for the Israelites. No, that couldn't be true. No, right. That couldn't possibly be right. Yeah, that was a mistake. But everything else, Christ loves everything. But he never says that. Right. I want somebody to show me that in the Bible. Christ came to save the whole entire earth. Show me where it says that. He says clearly that he came only for the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
That's right.
Because he himself was an Israelite from the tribe of Judah, a black man. Okay. So with that being said, we're going to talk about some of the current events here and how it relates, you know what I'm saying, to Israel and the world. We're going to talk, first thing I'm going to talk about is these tornadoes, man. I'm going to say it because they've been saying it on the news. I've been around a little while, and this is the worst I ever seen in my life. It went through 5 or 6 states. One track, it went for 200 miles straight, tore through 200 miles of civilization straight. 200 miles. You understand what I'm saying? That's like from DC to New York, that's like from Baltimore to New York. All of this tore everything up, man. I think it was 5 different states. Tennessee, Missouri. I can't recall all of the states, but it was terrible. I saw the damage. And all of these things that's happening on the earth are under the power of the Most High power. Right. These are the things that he uses, man. If you really want to know what the Bible is about, and you see in the Bible, he's always used these things. You understand what I'm saying? This is his power. He has power over the elements, the molecules, everything. Right. You understand? That's why he's the Most High power, because there's no power higher than him. He has power over everything. So these tornadoes are a warning because America is on its way out. Now, some of you might not be comfortable with that. You might not like it, but it's in the scriptures as well. America's on its way out. You understand? America has done its damage to the earth. You understand? And that's part of what my topic is tonight, which is my topic tonight is going to be the polluters of the earth. Right. You understand? And And I'm gonna try to hold it down. Hopefully, Captain Natak can come through that door. But but in the meantime, we got work to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna do the best I can while I'm here. You understand? And try to edify my people and prove what we saying is true on this earth. These tornadoes is a sign from the Most High Power, man.
Right.
He's curtailing America, man. You understand? Not only are there tornadoes, but we saw man. I never even knew that it snowed in Hawaii. But I heard on the news that this is not the first time it snowed in Hawaii, but it was the first time they got this type of accumulation. I didn't even know that it snowed in Hawaii ever. I thought Hawaii was one of them tropical places that never seen snow, but I found out that it has. They've gotten little sprinkles of snow throughout history here and there. But I heard that they got like 6-7 inches. Man. They said some places they got a foot in Hawaii. Man, that is incredible. Because let me have 82nd Psalm. I think it's verse 6. I think it is. Which says it talks about the foundation of the earth being out of course. I think it's the 82nd Psalm. But because the earth is polluted, man, and we're gonna prove that. I mean, everybody knows that the earth is polluted, but we're gonna prove it biblically from a biblical perspective.
Right.
You understand? That's what we're out here to do today. These tornadoes, and not only the tornadoes, not only the tornadoes, but there's severe weather all over the country. You got areas of drought. Then you got in the Sierra Nevada mountains, they got like about 12 feet of snow or something like that. I heard today.
Right.
You know, just extreme weather patterns, man. You understand what I'm saying? And this is part of the reason. Is that the scripture? Is it okay? Read it.
The book of Psalms, Psalm 82, verse 5. They know not, neither will they understand.
They don't know what the hell they doing, man. They don't care.
That's right.
What they're doing on this earth. All they want is filthy lucre. They doing all of these wicked things, destroying the ecology, everything for money. That's
Right.
it. It's just that simple. And the Most High already knew about it in advance. Read on.
They walk on in darkness.
They walk on in darkness. And when you're in darkness, that means you're in wickedness and you don't know righteousness.
Right.
You don't do the right thing. When you walk in darkness, you're doing the wrong thing. You understand what I'm saying? Because people do the right thing when the light is on them.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? But when you're in the dark, that's when you do all your wickedness, when you think nobody sees.
Right.
That's all it's talking about. Read on.
All the foundations of the earth are out of course.
All of the foundations of the earth are out of course. So let me break that down a little bit for you. What are the foundations of the earth? What is that? Now let's see. The earth is a planet full of life. And what it does is what it is. See, what you do is what you are. So what does the earth do? The earth sustains life. That's the earth. That's what she does. So the foundation of the earth are those things on the earth that sustain life. The ecosystems, the weather patterns, all of these things, you understand what I'm saying, are the foundations of the earth.
Right.
And they're all messed up. Read it again for that second part. The foundations of the earth.
All the foundations of the earth are out of course.
Are out of course. When you're out of course, that means you're on the wrong road.
Right.
You're supposed to go this way, but you're going that way. So you understand what I'm saying? The earth is out of course, out of order, because of the things that have been done to the earth and on the earth and to the people of the earth, who the Most High put on the earth so the earth could sustain them.
Right.
Understand? That's what the earth is for. That's the foundation of the earth. The things that keep the earth and the life on the earth growing and flowing is the foundation of the earth, man. You understand? And it's all messed up because the wicked rule. The oppressor's in rule of the earth, is in rulership over the earth, and he's destroying the earth. And I'm going to prove it in the Bible when we get there. But we're going to move on. Is that it on that?
Come on.
The foundations of the earth are out of course, man. It's not because these are not just natural occurrences, man. When you take, I'm just going to give you one good example. When you take the bottom feeders off the bottom of the earth, right, that's the beginning of the food chain. So now the whole food chain of the sea and the ocean is all out of course, man, because you eating up those things that you're not supposed to eat from the bottom of the earth. Shrimp, crab, lobster. That's their job, is to clean the seas, man. You understand? That's all. We're going to move on from that. Also, there's been all over the country. I don't care whether it's Chicago, Los Angeles, New York, Durham, North Carolina, Miami, Atlanta, Dallas, Texas. Just about every major city in America is seeing a spike, a remarkable spike in crime. You understand? See, these are the things. Now, people are they're not going, see, the kind of crime that's going on in the earth today is different in America, I should say. Because when I was coming up, the only time people would do the things that they're doing now was doing riots and stuff. And like if they rob somebody, they rob an old lady or they stick you up or whatever, But now whole groups of people are going down to department stores and jewelry stores and breaking in. This is a new kind of crime. I think they got a name for it already, but I don't know what it is. But this is what's happening now. It's like crime, I know in California, even the police is throwing up their hands. You understand what I'm saying? The police are even saying, don't come to Los Angeles, we can't protect you. That's scary. I mean, they're abdicating their position. What is going on? You see what I'm saying? Because the scripture says, when the wicked are in rule, the people mourn. Right. That's all it is. It says when the righteous rule, the people rejoice. But when the wicked are in power, the people mourn. That's what's going on. All of this crime and all this madness that's going on is because wicked people rule. Right. And so wickedness permeates. Wickedness grows. The seed of wickedness is a flower of death and destruction here in America. Right. And we knew the cause of it is the oppressor in the Christian church. That's evil. That's the cause of it. You understand? Because whatever you tolerate in your society becomes a part of your society. Right. So this crime spree that's going on all over the earth is a form of pollution as well. Right. You understand what I'm saying? People are getting killed. Young children are getting shot in their house. Still happening. You understand what I'm saying? All kind of new kind of crimes, it's happening. Tornadoes is tearing down whole buildings. The people got trapped in that candle factory out there. It's crazy. Okay. The crime. Okay. Now we got, I want to talk about Jeff Bezos. I got two more things. Jeff Bezos. You understand? Now, Jeff Bezos went to the moon. He went in space. He went in space. And they came back down. They took Michael Strahan and all that. He's a brother. He said he want to go back. He got caught up. He's in there. He's in the money. He getting paid well. Right. You know what I'm saying? He rocking with it. Hey, man, this is the way. I'm getting paid. I get to travel in space like the oppressor. And so I'm good. You understand? And he's getting paid, man. But I pray for that brother, man. Because he's not on the right track. That being said, that's all I'm gonna say on that. But what I want to say about Jeff Bezos is the richest man on the planet Earth that we know about. Right. You understand? I believe that there's some people richer than him, but I can't prove it. But anyway, Jeff Bezos is worth listen to this, $300 billion, over $300 billion. That means, I'm going to tell you what it means, because I looked it up. New York City, the greatest city on earth, they say, you know what their budget is for a year? And this is a record. I looked it up today. The budget for New York City for fiscal year 2021 was $99 billion. $99 billion. That's the fiscal budget for New York City this year. meaning that that's how you pay for the police, every municipal worker. You understand? The hospitals, everything costs this to run New York City. It costs $99 billion for 1 year. So what that means is that one man could finance New York City for over 3 years. He could pay every police officer, every fireman, you understand? All of the people that work for the city, that work in the hospitals, not the doctors. I don't think the city pays them, but all of the sanitation, you understand, the parks department, all of the things that make New York City run, the subway system, the trains, everything in New York City that costs money, he could pay for it for 3 years. Just think about that for a minute. One man, you can look it up, you think I'm lying because I know what I'm talking about. 300 billion, he's worth $300 billion. He could run New York City by himself. I think in New York City, there's got to be at least 500,000 workers in New York City. I didn't look that up, but I could guess, being that is almost 9 million people. You understand? And we got the subways, you got the hospitals, you know what I'm saying? You got the bus system, transit, you got the police, the fire department, all kind of different agencies in New York City, the legal system, all of that. I'm talking about Jeff Bezos to pay every last one of them. Fix the trains, clean the trains, get new fire trucks, whatever. For 3 years, he could do it by himself. That's amazing. You understand what I'm saying? And you know what? They made him Man of the Year. And he's the Man of the Year. This is why I'm bringing this out. They gave him Newsweek or whoever it is that gives Life Magazine or whoever it is, Man of the Year. They gave it to him. So I asked myself, the question. This is the question. What did he do for humanity? Right. Now, he created a new industry, space travel. You can go up there and go in space for a couple of million. You know, he giving a few people free rides. You know, that's the hook. You know, but in the future, you're going to pay. You know, so they created that new industry. You understand? And it does employ some people in order to do it because for that one trip, they spent $3 billion. No. Slock it. That $3 billion figures is for something else that I'm going to bring out shortly. But they spent a lot of money on that trip. And I think they spent like 2 minutes in space or near space. It wasn't even outer space. Understand? This is the waste and the wickedness that's going on in this earth that we take for granted and we look at as being normal. Right. Understand? Now, this is where I got the $3 billion figure from. They spent $3 billion on this new telescope. They got this new, you heard of the Hubble space. If you're good, Bob. They got this new Hubble space telescope that they're sending up. It's supposed to be not the Hubble. I forgot the name of it. I didn't get a chance to write it down, but they have this new telescope that's worth. It's cost $3 billion, and the panels on the mirrors are laden with gold. It cost them $3 billion to build this telescope, and they said that they're able with this telescope that they're able to see. Yahba Shemal Shabbat, my brother, good to see you. They say that this telescope is worth $3 billion. The panels are laden with gold, and they say that they could see to the beginning of time with it, hopefully. That they could see they could see so far back, they could see the actual, the radiation and the what did they call it? It's, infrared. In infrared, the actual energies that was released at the beginning, at the Big Bang. I'm serious, man. Do you know how foolish that is? Like, who gives a damn? Really? I don't give a damn if you can see back to doomsday or ahead to doomsday. It ain't gonna change nothing. You understand? But I brought out the $3 billion figure to show you that how wasteful they are. You know how much, now I just showed you how Jeff Bezos is worth 300 billion, and he could pay for New York City for 3 years. Everything in New York City, 3 years, he could pay for it by himself. He could keep New York City running for 3 years by himself. And that's 9 million people in there. Imagine that. Now here they spent $3 billion. Here they spent $3 billion on this new telescope to look back in time. Now I want somebody to please call in and tell me how that helps us here on the earth. Please, somebody, please tell me. How does that improve the human condition? This is madness, man. But it's made tolerable because of the oppressor is in rulership, and the Christian church allows everything. They're not against anything except Hebrew Israelites. Everything is cool with them until you cross them, start messing with their money, then they come out. Understand? They a bunch of den of thieves, all of them. Well, not all of them, all of them. All of them are liars. Anybody that says the Lord of Most High Power is done away with is a liar. You understand? So that's why we speak. So I covered all of the. Just imagine that, man. $3 billion just to look back in time. They say they can. They done figured out some way to figure out how the molecules is traveling through space, and they trying to look at it going reverse, and then they could determine how far back they go. That's basically how I understand how they do it. You understand? Which I don't really give a damn, but I like to be abreast of things and understand. But what I be looking for is how are they helping the human condition? Jeff Bezos, Michael Strahan and them went up to the moon. To space. How is that helping the poor people on the earth, man? These people are wicked as hell, man. You understand? With that being said, we're going to get into my topic. Now, one of the things that I spoke on with the tornadoes and the snow in Hawaii and all of the things that's going on weather-wise around America and the earth, and we brought out the scripture in the 82nd Psalm about the foundations of the earth being out of course, which is the life support systems in the world. You understand? Because the earth is made to support life. But now we're going to get into the actual scriptures that shows the ramifications of what these people have done on this earth as far as pollution is concerned. You understand? Because these things are in the scripture. Like the Most High is the all-knowing, man. He knew, like he said, he knew us before we was in before we was born. When we was in our mother's belly, he knew us. Right. So he knew the devil too. He knew what he was capable of when he was in his mama's belly. He knew what he could do, and he told us about it. He told us everything. He told us everything, man. It's right there in the Bible. Okay, so what we're gonna do? Polluters of the earth, man. That's what we're gonna get into. You understand? This is historic because, as I said before, this is the Monday night scripture breakdown / history class. So, we don't have any scriptures to break down as of yet. And we're called, if you have anything you need broken down, tap it into the chat. Hopefully Captain Nathak will be here. If I can break it down for you, because I can break down some scripture. You understand? Milk scripture. You understand? But there's some scriptures that we need more expertise on. We got a brother that can do it. Most High in Christ. You understand? We have brothers that can do it. Okay, so now y'all got your swords ready? Okay. My Shah, get me 2nd Ezra in Apocrypha 15:6. Cabal, let me get Jeremiah 3:2. We're going to start with Ezra 15:6. These things are happening on the earth. Just like we have work to do to get our people back into the fold, there's been work done to get the earth in the condition that it's in as well. You understand?
Oh, yeah.
This didn't happen by accident. See, don't think that it happened by accident, because it didn't. The earth is in the condition it's in because of who's ruling the earth.
Right.
It's just that simple. I mean, my God. I thought that, a couple of weeks ago, I was talking about this island of plastic in the North Atlantic. Well, I just read they got one in the South Pacific too. An island of waste, man, that just conglomerated, just came together. Trash. You understand? They found a turtle. I saw that they had a turtle. The turtle had a straw or something stuck up his nose. And they were trying to get the straw out the turtle's nose, the poor little guy. Because of the pollution in the earth, man. So you got that, brother? Read it nice and loud and clear, please.
God. It's the second book of Ezra, chapter 15, verse 6. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth.
Wickedness has polluted the earth, man. That's the beginning of it all, man.
That's right.
Before you dump that pollution in the river, you done did it in your mind, man. You knew what you was doing. You said, the hell with it. It's cheaper that way. I don't have to go through the regulations and properly dispose of this toxic waste. I'll just dump it in the river where people drink water.
Right.
Remember what the Native Indians said. I'll never forget what this brother said, this Native Indian brother. And if you get tired of hearing it, I'm sorry. And this was profound, man, in its simplicity. He said before the white man came, you could go to any stream or river in America and drink the water. I ain't never going to forget that, and I'm never going to stop saying it. You understand? This brother said that, and I'm never going to forget it because I thought about that. I was like, what river in the world can we go to and drink the water out of in America? And no river that I know, not no river in New York City.
That's right.
Not in Durham, North Carolina either. Not in Michigan.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't mean, let me stop that. But it's serious business, but because it's polluted. Read on, brother.
God. And their hurtful works are fulfilled.
Their hurtful works are fulfilled, man. Meaning that they they bring on what they intend with their hurtful work. Man. Right. You understand what I'm saying? They complete these hurtful works, man, for wickedness, man. And it harms the earth itself. It pollutes the earth, man. Wickedness is a pollution itself, man. We don't understand these things, right? Growing up, did we understand that wickedness was pollution? I didn't. Right. I was a wicked bastard, I'm going to tell you. I didn't think wickedness was pollution. I just thought I was having fun. That's how dumb we are.
That's right.
Under these oppressors and under these Christians, man. We don't know what it is, what's really going on in this earth, man. And it's our job in the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana to tell the truth, man, and bring this out for our people to understand what's really going on and what life is really about. You understand? You think life is about clubbing, golf course, football. I like football now. But it ain't never stopping me from doing no work.
That's right.
You understand? You understand? These are the things that are in the earth. Any more on that?
Alive.
Okay, Brother Baba Kashar, Kabbalah Ma, if you could, give me Jeremiah 3:2. The polluters of the earth, man. We're gonna easily identify them as we go along because they're the oppressor. Because the oppressor are doing these things that we're reading about. Wickedness is the beginning of pollution, man. That's deep, man. Who would have ever thought that? Wickedness, going against God, is the beginning of pollution. That's something, man. ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana, man. We got it. Right. Read on, my brother. Read it.
This book of Jeremiah, chapter 3, verse 2. Lift up thine eyes onto the high places.
Lift up thine eyes. You know what that is. I mean, open your eyes. Look unto the high places. What's the high places? The kings, the senators, the president. Those are the high places, man. Look at what these fools is doing. Look at them. Read that again from the top, brother.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 3, verse 2. Lift up thine eyes unto the high places. and see where thou hast not been leaned with.
You understand? What did it say? Lean is Lean?
Lien, sir.
Oh, okay. So that's like a debt, right? Well, I wish we could look. Let me see if I can pull up my one. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure it's a debt. Like we in debt to these leaders. We're gonna read it from the top one more time when the brother get there, because I want to break it down to you right to the best of my ability. But what it says.
This is the definition for lien out of the Oxford Dictionary. A right to keep possession of property belonging to another person
Ooh,
until a debt owed by that person is discharged.
that's slavery.
Right.
Basically, let's read. Let's go back to that scripture. That's a perfect definition. Listen to this.
This book of Jeremiah, chapter 3, verse 2. Lift up thine eyes unto the high places.
Lift up thine eyes to the high places. We're talking about the leadership of the earth. Read on.
And see where thou hast not been leaned with.
You understand? Meaning that we're in captivity to them. They have the whole earth, or all the underlings of the earth under their captivity, under their, power.
Right.
We're in debt to them. You don't think you are? Try not paying your taxes.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Try not paying your rent. Try not paying your light bill. Try to fast for 40 days and don't eat. You understand? Dr. Shaw, if we could you turn that heat off? That heat is working good. Whoever came in there and fixed it is working. Or he fixed the thermostat. Okay. Any more on that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, if you could, Baba Shah.
Yes, sir. In the ways hast thou set for them, as the Arabian in the wilderness, and thou hast polluted the land with thy whoredoms and with thy wickedness.
So now the Arabians are the Ishmaelites. So they was like the wild men. So this is calling them wild men. They're acting wild. They're careless. You understand? The Arabian in the wilderness, their prophecy was that they would be like wild men. So that's what it's talking about. They're careless in their activities. Read on from the Arabians.
As the Arabians in the wilderness, and thou hast polluted the land with thy whoredoms and with thy wickedness.
See, we're back to wickedness again. Whoredoms, whoredoms, there are all kind of whoredoms, It's not just a woman laying down for money. You understand what I'm saying? The Christian church is a house of whoredom.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? You can whore out your soul, man. You can whore out your labor. You understand what I'm saying? Whoredom covers a whole lot of things. We went a whoring after these other nations, meaning following after the wickedness that they do. This is what it's talking about. Whoredom is wickedness. You understand what I'm saying? And wickedness, meaning other wickednesses that goes along with the whoredoms, the sellouts. Read that last part one more time.
As the Arabians in the wilderness, and thou hast polluted the land with thy whoredoms and with thy wickedness.
See? So everything, like we read in the first scripture, that wickedness is the beginning of pollution. So now we got whoredom and wickedness together. You understand? Polluting the whole, meaning like, okay, Las Vegas. Las Vegas is Sin City, they call it, right?
Right.
What is it about? It's about gambling, drugs, sex, hotels, fast money, tricking people, robbing people. That's what it's about, Baba Shah. You understand? That's what it's about. So now we're talking about the polluters of the earth, how they have polluted this place. You understand? Not just with physical, toxic, chemical pollution, but with spiritual pollution as well. We're talking about spiritual pollution as well. First and foremost is spiritual pollution. You understand what I'm saying? You have to have the spiritual pollution before you commit the actual pollution that goes on in the earth. You understand? Shalom, Adawan. Yahweh Shem Al-Shai Barakatah. Most High in Christ. So with these wicked deeds that they've done on this earth, with this pollution coming up, Cap. With the pollution that they've done on this earth with their wickedness and their whoredoms, you understand? It has spread throughout the land. You understand? This is the pollution that we're talking about. Spiritual pollution. You dig what I'm saying? Spiritual pollution is on the earth. Then comes the physical pollution. Let me have Revelations 11 and 18. And with that, Kabbalah, give me Revelations 11 and 18. So the pollution that's on the earth, it starts as a spiritual pollution. You understand what I'm saying? Then it becomes a behavior. Then it becomes a physical pollution, toxic pollution, polluting the water. You understand? Polluting the rivers, the ocean, the air that we breathe. You understand what I'm saying? All of this is because of the wickedness, the greed that comes on the earth.
Yes,
Read
sir.
that for me, Brother Babakar Shah.
Yes, sir. This is the book of Revelations, chapter 11, verse 18. And the nations were angry.
The nations are angry. What are the nations angry about? Read on.
And thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name.
That's Revelation 11 and 18.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Salakia, then I got the wrong scripture then. Our scripture is appropriate, but all right. You ready, Cap? Okay. Okay, Musa, correct. That was Revelation 11, 18?
Yes, sir. 11 and 18.
Okay, most 18. Salakia then. Let me have Ezekiel 7, 21 and 22. We're talking about the pollution, the polluters of the earth. You understand? And it's not just physical pollution. You understand? It's spiritual pollution. It's, all type of things. And with that, I turn the class over to the priest and officer, Captain Nayata. Shalom. You need some water, Cap? Yeah. Fine, correct.
You don't talk for the thing good? All right. All right, so tonight, right? I'm gonna get into abortion. All right. The eugenics movement. Okay? And the eugenics movement. All right. What you all can tell me about the eugenics movement? You all can tell me anything about it? Come on.
If I may. The eugenics movement started with a woman, Margaret Sanger. I think Sanger was her name.
It didn't. Okay.
But
go ahead.
She implemented a program, Salakia.
Right. That's it. She
Come on, sir.
implemented a program, but the eugenics movement was already around before her. You understand? I forgot his name. Hoffenheim, or I forget his name, right? But it was America, Britain, and Germany, right? That started it. No, who gonna man the computer for me? You know to man it? Good. Sort of. Yeah. Okay, no sweat. But he knows more about it. Okay, well then let's switch for this time. All right. So first off, right? In the Bible, right? What's the first instance of where abortion took place in the Bible? First instance. Come on. Egypt. And that was when? Scripture. That's what Pharaoh Go ahead.
I mean, hold on. That's when Pharaoh commanded the midwives to kill the male children of the Israelites.
That's in Exodus 1 and 15.
Khan, I got it, sir. You want it?
Yeah.
Khan. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 15. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of the one was Shiphrah, and the name of the other Puah. Verse 16. And he said, when ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon their stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him.
Then he shall what?
Kill him.
So it was specific back then, right? Specific to the point where as they were killing what? He was trying to kill what?
The sons.
Male. Yes. You understand? Trying to kill the sons, right? And that's because of what? Why he was trying to kill his son? The same reason who? Come on.
If I could, Baba Kashan. The same reason why they want to kill us off in America, because we're repopulating.
Mm-hmm.
We're growing.
Right.
You understand? And they put up some false system called democracy.
Uh-huh.
And democracy, with us repopulating so quickly, where democracy is not going to work for them the way they want it to anymore.
Right. Okay. You're right to a point. But what's the reason why Pharaoh was killing the men? Come on.
It's like
See if the mic here working, right?
he was killing the men so they wouldn't reproduce, but also it's like it because he knew the prophecy.
Mm-mm. Read above it. See if we can read above it, Yanisa.
Come on, sir. I'll start at verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 14. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage.
And they made their life what? Bitter with what?
Bitter with hard bondage.
With hard bondage, right? Read on.
In mortar and in brick and in all manner of service in the field.
Right. So it's almost like what? Today, right?
Yeah.
Right? We work in what? 12 to 12. You know what I mean? 12-hour shift. And from a 12-hour shift, you get what? 2 hours sleep and then you're back to work again. You're working like what? 2-3 jobs. Right? That's hard rigor. You understand? With that type of work, what happens? You have no time to think. What you looking for? What you looking for? Oh. Yeah. Right? You can't even what? You can't even think. You don't have time to sit down and do what? Read the what? The Bible. So guess what? You expect when you go to church on Sunday that what? Pastor Willie, what? Teach you the Bible. But he ain't doing it. Right. Go ahead. All right. Kubal. There's a whole lot post right there for me. Right? So he ain't doing it. You understand? Right? But in here, we what? We're going to teach you the Bible. We're going to teach you the truth according to the what? Bible.
Come on,
Right? Read on.
Come.
See somebody can read on for him.
Verse 15.
Come on.
Book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
And the king of Egypt spake unto the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of the one was Shiphrah, and the name of the other Puah.
Right. So read verse 14 one more time for me.
Oh, come
Just to make sure you ain't leave on nothing.
The book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 14. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage in mortar and in brick and in all manner of service in the field.
Right. Why?
It's like, sir, so like you said, not to give them time to think or to create an uprising of any kind of sort.
That you're on it now.
So
So there's no what type of what? Unity. So you and how time to think You know what the Mexicans going through the same thing I going through. You don't have time to think about that. Guess what we have time to do? To do what? To get up and go what? Work.
Hard labor.
Hard labor. You understand what Esau says? What the devil make work for idle hands,
Right.
right? You ever hear that saying? Yeah. So he says that and do what? Make you what? Work what? Harder. Harder. Hard.
That's right.
Right? Read on.
And in all manner of service in the field.
All manner of what?
All manner of service in the field.
All manner of service. What we doing today? What? We have to what? Pick cotton.
Mm.
We still what? We still picking cotton. We still what? Picking oranges. Yeah, tobacco. Still working hard.
Damn right.
You understand? We out the field, right? We fight to get out the field. But guess what? You gotta work for some grocery store for what? What, $7.50 an hour?
Good.
You gotta go work where in some fast food joint for what? $7.50 an hour?
Right.
That ain't paying the bills. So guess what? You need two jobs.
That's right.
$7.50. The two of them paying $7.50. And before you know it, you spending more time where? At work than what?
Home.
Than home.
Good night.
You know what I mean? Home, you spending, just imagine that. You paying for a home, for your apartment. So what? Say average, I'll say 900 a month. How much hours you spending in a home? 4 hours a day? 5 hours a day? Spending more time on your what? On your slavery than at home? Yeah, no time to do what? No time to even read the Bible. Much less think that what? That you're a slave still. And no time to think about that. Right? Read on.
All their service, wherein they made them serve, was with rigor. Verse 15. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of the one was Shiphrah, and the name of the other Puah. Verse 16. And he said, when ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools, if it be his son, then ye shall kill him.
Right. Skip me up to verse 8. That's what I want.
Oh,
That's the fear. That's the fear our oppressor have. That's the fear your oppressor have. You understand? His fear is what? Read verse 8.
The book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 8. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. Verse 9. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
You understand? Right? The problem ain't what? The problem ain't what? It's too expensive to have a child. Any problem. Like they try to make it what? Today they make it feel like what? To have a child, what? It's going to what? Mess with what? Your career. It's going to mess with what? Your money.
Right.
It's going to mess with your whole what? Your lifestyle. You understand? But the real problem is what? Read one more time. The real problem every empire have pertaining to us.
The book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 9. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
That's the problem they have with us. You understand?
Damn right.
They're more, and they know we what? Stronger.
That's right.
You understand? You can imagine taking them brothers off the football field and putting them in the Lord's army. Your oppressor, he's going to be so scared. You understand? He's going to be so scared, so frightened. You understand? Right? Read on.
Verse 10. Come on, let us deal wisely with them.
Let us deal what?
Deal wisely with them.
Deal wisely with them. Right? Planned Parenthood is what? They're dealing wisely with us. This whole eugenics movement is them dealing what? Wisely with us. You understand? They're trying to push that on us. You understand? That abortion on us, just like what Pharaoh tried to do to what? To the midwives.
Kind of the one kind.
You understand? Right? That's the first what? Historical event of what? Abortion. That they try to push on black people. You understand? On the real Jews. Right? Read.
Kanawakan. Lest they multiply.
Lest they what?
They multiply.
Lest they multiply. That's the problem. You understand? Like they like to talk about this whole thing as you were saying with voting, right? How your vote counts. Well, if your vote counts, you need what? Numbers for your vote to count, right?
Kanawakan.
Now, if you kill your future off, how is your vote going to count?
Right.
Your vote can't count then, right? Right? Read on.
Kanawakan. And it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies.
They join also onto our what?
Our enemies.
Our enemies. You understand? Now, see if you can pull up on the YouTube there, right? A history of eugenics, right? Hook up to the TV. Put the TV on. Put the TV on, right? Don't put it on YouTube for it to play on YouTube, right? Because I'm not too sure if they might take us down because of it. So the people in class will be able to see it, and the people online should be able to hear what's being said on the whole eugenics, right? Situation, right? So while he brings it up, let's go to Lamentations, right? You know where I'm going with it? Lamentations, what? 4? Yes. No, hold on first. Give me Jeremiah 1 and 4. Give me Jeremiah 1 and 4.
This is the book of Jeremiah.
I'll hold on. Come on. Yeah.
Yes, sir. This book of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 4. Then the word of the Most High came unto me, saying, verse 5, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee.
All right. This is who Jeremiah speaking here, right?
Yes, sir.
Right? And he's saying what the Most High basically said to him. Right? Read it one more time.
This book of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 4. Then the word of the Most High came unto me, saying, verse 5, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee.
Before I formed thee in thy belly, what? I knew thee. You understand? That's the Lord. You understand? Before you them babies in your sister's womb, guess what? Guess who formed them? Most High. And he knows each and every one of them. You understand? We believe in here. What we believe in? Reincarnation. Those babies were what? Were in the past. You understand? And you are killing, you black women, you are killing our future. You understand? Black men too. Because black men is the first, some of them might be the first one to be like, oh no, no, I ain't ready. Let's go. Let's go and get this abortion done. You understand? When that's evil to the Most High. It's a sin. It's a crime. And what's that crime? Murder. And the Lord has a law, what? Thou shalt not what? No, not kill.
Like murder, sir.
Murder. All right? It ain't just kill. Right? Because there are instances where you can't kill. What instance? you know what I mean, he should be get the fullest punishment the laws have for it in the land. You understand? But when Christ returned, that happened. It's gonna be judgment served right then and there. You understand? Right? So you ain't allowed to go kill your baby or abort your baby because of what? Rape. You're not allowed to do it. You understand? Right? And I'm not taking, don't think I'm taking the, what you call it again, the action lightly. I'm not taking the action lightly. What I'm trying to tell you is that child that's in that womb from that, you didn't put it there, he didn't put it there, is the Lord. You understand? Right? Come on. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead and play. Let's play a little bit.
Rice, and I'm the director of the Division of the Senior Historian at the Mandel Center for Advanced Holocaust Studies at the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum in Washington.
Right, and you recognize is man, just pause it once I start talking, right? You recognize what it's speaking pertaining to who? The Jewish community. You understand? Because to them, their Holocaust is the worst thing that ever happened to any people on the face of the earth. You understand? When we know that what the genocide that took place with Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian is the worst of any nation. But yes, by far, you understand. I'm not saying that what Hitler did was right. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is what happened to them is but a fraction of what actually happened to us. You understand? A small fraction, small percentage. You understand? What they say over what? 5 million Jews were murdered. Well, over what? 99 million of us were murdered for that transatlantic slave. Over 77 million of the Native Indians were murdered for this land called America. Now, you do the math on that and tell me what is 5 million out of what? 999 plus 77 million? What is that? That is nothing compared to it. That is like a drop in the bucket. You understand? For what happened to us. And now, on top of that, they're going to put what? They're going to push abortion in our community. They're going to push all these sterilization, all these things. A Black woman can't even, you know what I mean, finish making a baby. They're trying to ask her to do what? To tie her tubes. They're trying to ask her to you know what I mean, to get sterilized. You understand? Because they have a mission. The war is on what? On Black men, and what? They're using these abortion to come out to what? Our sisters. You understand? Come on.
If I may, sir, even with this new abortion controversy that they had, the Supreme Court gave them an out. They said that the law that they brought in Texas was legal, but they gave them a way to maintain certain abortions, and we know what that means.
Yes, we understand, and that's for us, right? Come on, let's play a little more.
Lutz Kelber, Associate Professor of Sociology at the University of Vermont.
Today, Dr. Kelber and I are going to look at eugenics, also called racial hygiene, in Nazi Germany and in the United States, two countries deeply invested in implementing eugenic public health policies to improve the genetic makeup of their populations. We're going to look at how the two countries borrowed from each other when it came to implementing some of these eugenic strategies, specifically antenatal strategies, compulsory sterilization, and anti-miscegenation laws, which kept unvaluable members of society from reproducing.
Before we begin, I want to point out that you're going to hear terms in this lecture today that are not appropriate to use in modern discourse. Today, words like moron, imbecile, and idiot are decidedly pejorative. In the early decades of the 20th century, however, these were actually medical terms. In those days, they represented a range of psychological classification associated with hereditary feeble-mindedness, something today we call an intellectual disability. The term described the degree of intellectual impairment, with idiocy signifying the highest degree of impairment and moronity the least.
Although, pause it, right? So in other words, this whole eugenics movement came about with them doing what? Trying to do what? Come on.
Separate people on the basis on their education level or their ability to learn level.
Yeah. It's more so what they're trying to do is they was trying to bring in what they call a perfect race. So the eugenics basically would be the study of them to do what? To stop the breeding of what? Of people who has, yes, what you call inferior or people with disability. You understand? Like we had laws in the Bible where what? For lack of correct term, where midgets couldn't do what? Couldn't come into the congregation. You understand? Albino, he couldn't come into the congregation until after a certain time, once that kid got out of the family line. The Lord put it like that. But your oppressor on the left-hand side, he's going to try to do what? He's going to try to be God. He's going to try to be the one to do what? To make a what? Perfect race. Because why? God to him make what? Mistakes. You understand? Yes, come on.
These terms were meant to classify. In the end, they became the means to isolate those with intellectual disabilities from the rest of society. We need to be aware that our language constantly changes over time, and that these terms, which once had scientific meaning, eventually acquired offensive connotations.
So, what is eugenics? Eugenics, or the idea of good birth, was the scientific of the late 19th and early 20th centuries. At the core of the movement's belief system was the conviction that human heredity was fixed and immutable, that it's nature, not nurture, that makes you the human being that
Right,
you are.
so pause that. So it's saying what? That what? Come on.
There's what you're made of that makes you what you are. The part of your genes, like not what you what do you call it? Nature versus nurture? No, nurture versus nature is what they're saying. So it's like,
Right. So in other words, what she's trying to say is this: is that if your father is an alcoholic, then he could pass that trait down to you. You understand? If your father had some schizophrenia or whatever mental illness, he could do what? Pass it down to you. No, eugenics was going to try to do what? Correct that or stop that from happening. Because to them, that was what? That was weakening the what? So-called what? Race. Right? Come on.
The idea in a
No,
nutshell is
why
this,
are they doing that, right?
that if you can breed a
Look up the definition of eugenics, and it's going to tell you what it was in the Greek and then what it means now. Right? Come on.
better dog or horse, as humankind has been doing for centuries, we can breed a better person and a better national body. Eugenics was an international movement, and in its heyday, right before the First World War, Great Britain, the United States, and Germany were leaders in the movement. Each might have had their own agenda, but most eugenicists everywhere had some ideas in common. First, they wanted to find who in their society is valuable, to pick out the good stock and encourage them to reproduce. Second, they wanted to find the bad stock, those who are seen as a burden on society, and discourage them from reproducing. And third, they want to keep the races from intermarrying. And we'll see the results of these efforts today. First, in compulsory sterilization laws, both the United States and Nazi Germany imposed in the first half of the 20th century.
Indiana enacted the world's first eugenic sterilization law in 1907. It targeted confirmed criminals, idiots, imbeciles, and rapists housed in state institutions. Policies such as eugenic sterilization or the establishment of state institutions to separate undesirable individuals from the public are examples of what sociologists call oppressive othering. Deviant characteristics, such as being inferior or dangerous, are ascribed unto others, and oppressive measures employed against them.
Right.
In a
So they're just giving you a
book
whole
published
list.
in 1922, Two,
They're just giving you
the American eugenicist Harry Laughlin proposed a model sterilization law.
right? So all they're doing is what? Giving you a list of reasons why they did what they did, right? So Germany, where did Germany get the whole idea to start the eugenics? Where did Hitler get it from?
I believe he got it from the situation with when the Jews were there, and they wanted to eliminate, the what they call the weaker races.
Okay, where did America get it from? Not America, Germany. I just give you.
They gave it from the USA.
Yes, from America. Right? Because America had what? These slaves. So guess what? You think they wasn't breeding us? People like to say what? That what you call it again? That
We were less intelligent.
no, not less intelligent, but that we were having the slave master was having sex with a woman.
Miscegenation.
Right, was mixing. And that wasn't the case. They were already what? Breeding us. You understand? They were trying to do what? They making sure they were breeding us like what? Like cattle. Yeah, you understand? Like cattle. Because that's what we were. You want to know why America is not going to apologize for slavery? Why is America not going to apologize for slavery? Why haven't they? Come on.
It's like, sir, because it made them what they are today. They're the number one superpower because of that, sir.
Think more so about on laws. Why they wouldn't apologize for it?
Oh, it's
Come
like,
on.
sir, because we were property, sir.
Give me a little more. Come on.
Yes, we were property, but it was legal.
Yes, that's why.
It was legal.
That's why. You understand? As simple as that. It was legal back then to have what? Slaves. So what they had to apologize for if it was legal? You understand? Now they make it in a way where what? It's illegal to do it, but they're still doing it what? How to have it. You not just eugenics, but more so. Come on.
It's like I said, they do it in modern times now through like sports.
Sports, and your what? Your job, where you go do what? You have to sign a what? A contract, right? And in that contract, it have reasons of what? Termination. You understand? You want to know why? You want to know why your sports players don't say anything? Because it's in their what? The contract. You understand? Come on. Hold on. Go ahead.
So just to add on what you're saying with your job, like now how they're mandating the vaccination, like that's a condition of your employment now.
Yes. You understand? Although we're not against the whole vaccine, go get your vaccination. Go get it. But it's just showing you that you're still in slavery. You're not free. You need what? You need a birth paper. You need what? A marriage certificate. You need what? You need a passport. Yes, social security card. You need all these things. Why? Because you're not free. You are what? Property. You're still property. You leave America and you go to Europe. It's only for your time. When that time is up, you better bring your butt home or else what? They're going to come looking for you. Or you get what you call what? Deported. You understand? Like it's still around, right? Continue.
He was the director of the Eugenic Records Office at the time. It was a research institute that gathered information on what were believed to be hereditary qualities in the population. Laughlin intended his model law to be a possible blueprint.
So now you see where they get the whole study from, where they say what? You can born what? No, meaning I taking it to your gays. You can be born what? Gay. Now you understand, right? Because, you know what I mean? If they're doing what? Genetics. They're doing these things, doing these studies. Now they have studies where a baby could be what? Born gay. When those, we know today that it's a what? It's a learn what? A learned behavior. You understand? Being gay is not being born with somewhat mental illness. All right? That's
totally different. You born with that mental illness, but you ain't born being what? Can't be born being gay. That's something that you learn. Come on.
Good, sir. We brought out a scripture, Jeremiah, well, it was 3 and 2. It's like it says like we're born in debt to these devils, man. Baba Kashar.
Yes.
You know, like it says it uses the word lean. It says tells us to look up to the
Come on,
highest.
let's help him on. He wants to sit down. Yeah, go ahead.
Baba Kashar, sir, if I could. Let me
Yeah, find it and read it.
concept. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 3, verse 2. It says, lift up thine eyes unto the high places and see where thou hast not been lean, L-I-E-N,
Right.
with. In the ways hast thou sat for them, as the Arabian in the wilderness, and thou hast polluted the land with thy whoredoms and thy wickedness.
Right.
We're in debt to them, meaning like when we're born, they already own us. Like,
Yes. You know what I mean? That's like, you know what I mean, today. You know what I mean? You think your people free when the people ain't free. You know what I mean? You telling me you free, right? When they take the dollar out your pocket, you don't have your people face on it. You don't have nothing pertaining to your people on it. You understand? The flag has nothing to do with you. You understand? So you're still what? Still slaves. Right? Come on. Play a little more.
Blueprint for a federal law. This never materialized, but it did influence the creation of state eugenic sterilization laws.
Right? State what? Eugenics and what? Sterilization laws. You understand? Read on.
Laughlin's model sterilization law targeted a heterogeneous group of people, those with mental illnesses, developmental disabilities, and physical disabilities. It included even the homeless, the poor, and alcoholics. Actually, sterilized were two main groups: people with developmental or intellectual disabilities and people with psychiatric illnesses.
Right.
When-
Which means what? They're trying to do what? In our laws, we make provisions for what? For people like this. You understand? For people with disabilities, not them. They want to do what? They want to get rid of them. They want to stop it. The Lord told us how to stop it, but they want to do what? They want to fully stop it. You understand? Come on.
this help explain, like during slavery, like they try to come up with all kind of theories like that we were less than, so they could categorize us and say, you know, like they would say things like we had smaller brains or this part of our brain lobe didn't work and these kind of things, and they would document it, and then that would be the basis of some of the rules and laws that they would make.
Yes, you understand? That's like today with the whole abortion, right? Who is it on? Who are they preying on? Yes, but who specifically? Who us? More specific. Come on. More specific.
The likes of the black family.
More specific. You're correct. What you're saying, but more specific.
The children. The likes of the children.
Specific. Be specific.
The likes of the race, our entire race.
It starts with P. The what? The what of us? The poor. That's who's attacking mainly. The poor of us. You understand? Right? The poor of us, they're attacking because they tell what? They tell the sister what? You ain't got no money to take care of this child. You ain't got this, that. Your career comes first. This, that, the other. And guess what? That dumb woman goes and commits the abortion. And then what they don't tell black sisters and Hispanic sisters is that what? Is that that is going to be on them for the rest of their life. That's going to be a stain on their conscience for the rest of their life. You understand? All right, come on. Yeah, go ahead.
When one compares Laughlin's model law to the Nazi sterilization law about a decade later, one finds an almost one-to-one correspondence between them in terms of the groups they targeted. This is indicated by the corresponding numbers on the left and on the right. This was no coincidence. The Nazi
Pause it and give me Ezekiel 23 and 39. All right. Right, and they're more focused on what? On the Nazis. Why? Because the Jewish man, because of what Hitler did to them. Right. What black people should be more focused on is our oppressor. But what he has done to us, we should never forget what he did to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Right. Never forget it. You understand? Yeah. Their scholars is doing what? Is bringing what? Showing you what they used eugenics to do to them.
Okay.
Right? Well, I'm here tonight showing you what? That abortion is what they try to do what? Push on us to do what? To get rid of us.
Okay.
Yes. Right?
Okay.
Read on.
Okay. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 23.
Kubal. Okay.
So this book of Ezekiel, chapter 23, verse 29.
Mm-hmm.
And they shall deal with thee hatefully, and shall take away all thy labor, and shall leave thee naked and bare, and the nakedness of thy whoredoms shall be discovered.
Shall be what?
Shall be discovered.
Right, read it one more time.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 23, verse 29.
No, 39. 39.
39?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Verse 39. For when they had slain their children to their idols.
For when they have slain their what?
For when they had slain their children to their idols.
Mm-hmm. That's what? That's your abortion. You understand? You're slaying your kid. You murder that kid. That kid can't talk. That kid can't do what? Can't say anything. Right. Hey, young man, come here. Go sit down. Go ahead.
Then they came the same day into my sanctuary to profane it.
To what? They go where? They go back into the Christian church. Right back into the Christian church, right? Where they're going to accept them and be like, ain't no problem. The Lord still what? He still loves you. No matter what. Right? Come on.
And lo, thus have they done in the midst of mine house.
Thus have they done what?
Thus have they done in the midst of mine house.
Thus have they done in the midst of the house. That's your pastor telling the black woman to do what? That's okay as a woman, is woman rights. That's where Margaret Sanger comes in to play, where she started to use the abortion, you understand, to push what? In the eugenics movement to push what? Abortion. You understand? Come on.
It's like I said, even though the United States government knew it was a lie, the whole abortion issue was based on a lie.
Uh-huh. Yes, with the Roe versus what?
Roe versus Wade, yes, sir.
Right? And the woman who did it, she was trying to do what? She was trying to go back, renege on what she said, but it won't allow her to do it. You understand? She was trying to renege on what she said. She was trying to go back on what she said, but they wasn't going to let her do it. You understand? Come on.
He's paid close attention to the US as the world leader in eugenic sterilizations before 1933. Until 1927, those American states that had eugenic sterilization laws did generally not want to implement them full scale. Concerns existed about legal liability of sterilization providers and whether the laws were constitutional.
Right, and all this tie into what we went over last week with the whole marriage, right? Remember why they came up with the marriage laws, right? Why they came up with the marriage laws? Come on.
Slacky, sir, because there wasn't enough reproducing happening.
Yes. You understand? So now you put that together with this. Now you understand why they had to do what? Secretly what? Bring in abortion and turn it into what? Planned Parenthood.
Kind of.
Come on.
One. So it said that they didn't fully implement it because they couldn't make a correct criteria.
No, okay, think about it this way. Back then, we were having our kids, and we knew what? We fully knew what? That the oppressor was the devil the Bible speaks of. We know that. So he had to come at us what? He had to deal with us what? Wisely. You understand? Yes. So more so, he was trying to, remember the eugenics start off with him trying to make a perfect race for himself. You understand? So he is not doing what? Any inbreeding, any interracial marriage wasn't going on. There was laws against it back then. He did not want to cross the races. You understand? Why? Because of this whole eugenics. You understand? Now he realized, remember, to him, it's almost like with the opioid problem. With the opioid problem, it started off with what? It started affecting who? Us. Right? It was a war on drugs. And who was going to jail? Black men. You understand? Doing years in jail. You understand? Now, who is it affecting?
The oppressor.
Yes, the oppressor. And now he's doing what? He's putting things in place to do what? To protect his people, to protect his heritage. You understand? Which lets you know what? It's the same thing with this, with the whole eugenics. The whole eugenics was them trying to do what? Trying to protect their people, trying to, bring it on their people.
Come.
Right, come on.
If I may, another question, sir. Like, also, I looked up, like, their population growth is stagnant. Like, it's at like 0.72%
right
of growth, where Black and Hispanics is like 4.8.
Double or triple theirs, right? Right. That's where abortion comes in. That's where the spending and pushing so much money into the Black community to what? For us to abort our kids. When our kids, the Lord called them a what? A heritage. Where's that? Give me that in, I think it's in Psalms 127:3. Give me Psalms 127:3. Come on.
Come on, sir. I got a question in the chat.
Come on.
From I believe Brother Sakwawa. He says, Slacky, sir, if I may, what does the Bible say to do with people with intellectual disabilities?
Right, intellectual disabilities. Yes, basically. You understand? Take care of them. You know what I mean? There are provisions in there where it tells us, how we should deal with brothers and sisters who, who are what Christ said. Yes, find that for me. And also too where he say ye are the salt of the earth. Read the Psalms first.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 127, verse 3. Lo, children are an heritage of the Lord.
Right? Children are what?
An heritage of the Lord.
Of the Lord. So when you kill a child, you are killing what? Belongs to who? The Lord.
This is why
you understand?
The church is so wicked.
Yes, because it's in the Bible, but they ain't reading it. These things, they ain't gonna read it in the Christian church. They won't bring these things up. Guess why? Because woman rights. Because the woman, they what? They're gonna just get up and walk out of the church. And the Christian pastor know once the woman start to walk out of the church, what is walking out?
His money gone.
Money gone. His money is gone, is walking out the church. So guess what? Abortion is okay. Right? Make the friends to what? To the mammon. Remember that? Right? Where I believe it's in the New Testament, where it speaks about your pastor, how he what? He's hired.
Filthy lucre.
Yes, he is hired. You understand? He is teaching you what you want to hear. And
That's when-
black woman want to hear what? Abortion is what? All right. You understand? It's okay. Lord still love you. Come on.
That's the parable of the good shepherd,
Yes.
when he said the good shepherd died for the sheep, but the hire, when trouble comes, he run away.
Yeah, he run. You understand? He ain't staying there for trouble. Right? So read that over one more time for me.
The book of Psalm, chapter 127, verse 3. Lo, children are an heritage of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward.
Right? Give me Luke 14. In Luke 14. All right, and this answer the sister question.
Like, so where you want me to start, sir?
14:12. Start at 12.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 14, verse 12.
Uh-huh.
Then said he also to him that bade him, when thou makest a dinner or a supper, call not thy friends.
Call not thy what?
Call not thy friends,
Read on.
nor thy brethren,
Read on.
neither thy kinsmen,
Mm-hmm.
nor thy rich neighbors, lest they also bid thee again,
Right. Read on.
and a recompense be made thee.
That's it. That's Luke.
Yes,
What Luke what?
This is Luke chapter 14, verse 12.
Luke 14. Yeah. Come on.
Verse 14.
No, read on. It's 14, 12 to 14.
This is verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
But when thou makest a feast, call the poor.
Call the what?
Call the poor.
Call the poor. Read on.
The maimed.
What's the maimed? Come on.
Like the handicap.
The handicap. You understand? Disabled of us. Come on.
The lame.
The lame. You understand? What's a lame? A cripple. What's the word before?
The maimed.
The maimed. Look up what maimed is. What's maimed? Right. You continue reading.
Call the poor, the maimed, the lame, the blind.
You understand? All these people will be considered what to the eugenics movement. Come on.
They would be considered like deformed
or useless. Useless. And these kind of people, it's a burden on their society.
Right.
Not with the Most High. The Lord is telling you to do what? He's telling you what? Don't invite your friends, nor the rich man, nor your brother, nor your kinsman. Invite the who? The poor, the lame. You understand? The maimed. Read on.
Verse 14. And thou shalt be blessed.
And thou shalt be what?
And thou shalt be blessed.
And thou shalt be blessed. Not your oppressor. Your oppressor wants to do what? Get rid of these people because they are putting a what? A burden on their society. Right. When the Lord made what? Made provisions in there for what? For people like this. You understand? That whole that verse where it tells us don't leave the gleaning on the field is for who? For the poor of us, not your oppressor. Your oppressor is going to do what? Gather everything. And then put laws in place where you can't feed the poor. You understand? All right? Read on.
Verse 14. And thou shalt
hold
be
on. Hold on. Go ahead and get it.
Cons. The Oxford Dictionary definition of maim. Wound or injury of the part of the body that is permanently damaged.
Mm-hmm. Right, and that's what?
Maimed.
Maimed. Good. Come on.
Verse 14. And thou shalt be blessed, for they cannot recompense thee, for thou shalt be recompensed at the resurrection of the just.
Right? And we know all these things, right? Like the deaf, the people, the disabled people of us, more than likely, what? However, they live in the past, that's how the Lord bring them back. But that still does not mean we treat them like garbage. Right. You understand? That still does not mean that. They're going through whatever they're going through. But brother, you better pray. When you die, you don't come back like that. You understand? You ill-treat somebody like that in here, you are going to get the fullest, when I say the fullest judgment gonna come on your head. When ill-treat, no maim, no lame person in here. You understand? You're not to do it, right? Give me Leviticus 19 and 14. Right, now we're going to what? The law, right? On this. Come on. No. Let's get this first and then we'll get back to the video.
I got it, sir.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt not curse the deaf, nor put a stumbling block before the blind.
You understand? Like he telling you what? Don't do what? What do you mean by curse? You mean to put a spell on them?
Yeah.
Does it mean that? What does it mean?
So like, don't mock them.
Or
Mistreat them.
what does curse means? Look up curse. Biblically, when you read about curse, where is it talking about? Uh-huh.
Oxford Dictionary definition of curse: a solemn utterance intended to invoke a supernatural power.
Right, that's there, spooky. That's their turn on curse. Right? What they did in slavery, that those things were considered what? Curse. Right? That's real curse. That ain't no spooky, no spells.
Right.
That's a oppressor whipping your back, raping your mom. You understand? Killing your baby. That's real curse. Read on. Give me some more definitions. Mm-hmm.
Okay. To inflict harm or punishment on someone or something.
So to what?
To inflict harm or punishment on someone or something.
This is the definition you want. So read it over one more time. Leviticus.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 14. Thou shalt not curse the deaf.
In what? Inflict what?
Harm or punishment.
Inflict harm or punishment. On who? Read on.
Nor put a stumbling block before the blind.
Nor put a stumbling block before the who? The blind. See a blind man walking, and what? You put something to trip him over to do what? For him to hurt himself. You understand? But he's saying, don't put a stumbling block before the blind, meaning don't mistreat a blind person. You understand? Don't do it. Right? Read on.
Before the blind, but shalt fear thy power. I am the Lord.
Right? But fear the Lord. You understand? Right? We don't push that whole eugenics movement was your oppressor trying to be who? Trying to be God. He think he better than God. So he think his science could make a what? A perfect human. And the Lord, he makes mistakes. Somebody that's lame, somebody that's blind, the Lord made a mistake. So guess what? We don't want none of that again. That's a burden on our community. Now I have to work, and now this blind person, he can't go work because he can't what? He can't see. He can't do nothing. So I must go take my hard-earned money and give it to him. Yes, we will do that in here. We will take care of our blind people, the lame. We'll take care of the poor in here because that's what Christ was taught to do, and he taught us to do it. You understand? Right? Right? So continue with the whole eugenics.
In 1927, the US Supreme Court decided Buck versus Bell. It was a review of the constitutionality of the 1924 Virginia sterilization law that drew on Laughlin's model law. In an 8-1 decision, the court decided that it was constitutional for US states to sterilize those who were thought to endanger the health of the state and the general welfare of the
Right?
public.
So pause it. The health, not the health, but to endanger the state.
Okay, they're a danger to the state itself.
Yeah, meaning you're a criminal.
Like anybody they take.
Right? Not anybody, a criminal. You understand? A criminal. So a criminal, guess what? Your rights gone. So now they coming to do what? Try and sterilize you. You understand? Now how much of that went on, but we ain't none of that being taught. You understand? And none of that being said. Come on.
So, like you said, wasn't there reports of recently in women's prisons they were trying to sterilize the women, like give them
I will not put it past them.
kind of kind.
Because that's the first, that they go to the woman and try to do what? Try to make her what? Sterilize. Because there's a story that came out where they did a black sister that, and she didn't know that they did it to her. And they're going to talk about it right here. Go on.
The justices found undesirable characteristics in 3 generations of the Buck family. The mother, Emma, an alleged prostitute, the allegation was false, and her daughter, Carrie. Here they are shown in a picture together. Carrie was committed to a Virginia institution after she had been raped at age 17.
Right. So, and that's one of the main reasons they try to tell a woman to go commit abortion. Rape. But what percentage of them who commit abortion is rape? Less than 1%. Right? Which says, abortion has nothing to do with what? Just someone getting raped. Right. Abortion is just a sister, you want her to do what? Commit murder. You understand? Right? Come on.
Member of her foster family. For that, she was labeled promiscuous by the court. Carrie's daughter, Vivian, the product of the rape, represented the 3rd generation.
And that's the thing with them. They like to bring up laws to suit their whatever they want to do. Right. They say that the sister was what? Promiscuous. So now, guess what? Because she's promiscuous, we're going to try to make things right. You understand? When the Lord never had no laws, the Lord had laws on what? A woman being a what? A hoe, a prostitute. You'll be what? You'll be stoned to death. You get that out. Not your oppressor. Read on.
She was presumed feeble-minded. In his opinion, writing for the majority, Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes wrote, quote, "It is better for all the world if instead of waiting to execute degenerate offspring for crime or to let them starve for their imbecility, society can prevent those who are manifestly unfit from continuing their kind." 3 generations of
So what is he saying? Come on.
Oh, sir. Instead of waiting for this kind of thing to just go out naturally, it's better to just prevent it from happening altogether by just cutting it off.
Yes,
Period.
by just killing it. You understand? Come on.
Oh, you want me to continue to read, sir?
Mm-hmm. Where you at?
We was in Leviticus 19 and 14.
No, that you good with that. Go to Proverbs 23 and 24. Right? Continue playing it.
Are enough. End of quote. Carrie was subsequently sterilized. So was her sister Doris, who was never told about the procedure.
Right? Who has never
After
told
Buck
about the
versus Bell,
procedure?
states felt affirmed that eugenic sterilization laws passed constitutional muster. About
You understand?
two-thirds of American states at one point or
No, you're good. You understand? Like that's your oppressor right there for you. He does things to you that, you know what I mean, without you even what? Without your consent. You understand? Come on.
So that's just like when they did the Tuskegee experiment
Right.
on black men when they was giving black men syphilis. But it was they weren't
Okay,
treating-
that was the that's what they claimed they was doing. They wasn't doing that.
they was leaving them untreated. They wasn't treating.
Yes,
them.
they wasn't treating them. It is much like today. Much like today, with the whole with the vaccine, they have the vaccine, but what? Black people are what? They don't want to go take the vaccine. So guess what, Negro? You are being studied. You the ones that take it to the ones that what? Who don't take it. Same thing back then. You understand? They could have treated them for it, but they didn't want to do what? Get treated. So they just saw what syphilis did to the body that was untreated. And that's what they're doing right now. They're gonna see, what's gonna happen to you untreated. Your experiment that's going on right now in front of your eyes and you don't even know. Go get your vaccine, black people, Hispanics and Native Indian. Go get it. Right? If your doctor tell you could do it, it's it's not gonna affect your health in any way, then go do it. You understand? All right, come on. Yeah.
another had a eugenic sterilization law. Eugenic thought also influenced the 1924 Immigration Act. The act reduced the overall number of immigrants allowed to come into the United States each year. It also limited immigration from precisely those countries that were thought to have higher portions of the unfit through a quota system.
Right. So you understand what it's doing, right? So So Hitler got his, his blueprint from who? From America. Blueprint. And then took it to what? To clear his race of what? So-called what? The Jewish people. Yes, because why? Because black people were getting killed too across there in Germany that they didn't talk about. You understand? We were being killed, but somehow the Jewish Holocaust Museum only has what? Yeah, but you ain't gonna say they preaching hate or pushing hate. You ain't gonna do that, right? When they leave all these other races that were affected by what Hitler did. You understand? They leave them out. You have to go read about them. They don't say anything about the Jewish man, right? Come on.
Inspired by American eugenicists and their sterilization laws, Nazi officials made compulsory sterilization a priority in their own eugenic legislation. On the 14th of July, 1933, just 6 months after the Nazis came to power, the Hitler cabinet promulgated the law for the prevention of progeny with hereditary diseases, also called the Hereditary Health Law.
Right, which means Hitler now, he gonna what? Implement what? Where you couldn't have what? Come on.
If you had any kind of deficiency that they didn't want, you couldn't reproduce.
Yes. So now you're on the sideline. You understand? You couldn't do that. No, if you want to go, have sexual intercourse, you go have to do what? Get what? Sterilize. Can't have no kids. Nothing. You understand? Come on.
If I may, sir, like it seemed like this kind of stuff would cost a hell of a lot of money, man, to do these kind of things. Doesn't it cost like crazy money God, it's crazy.
Okay, when it comes to Esau and money, when it comes to things like that, he gonna find it. He gonna find ways to get it done. Whatever he wants to push, he gonna find a way to get it done. It costs a ton of money to do what for abortion, but he gonna find money to do it because he knows that what he already had his think tank sit down and his statisticians sat down and say, well, if we spend this amount of money right now to kill these amount of babies, this is how much we're going to save over a 10-year span, over a 20-year span. He already did the calculations, and he know what that the murder is going to outweigh the what the cost. He know he gonna save on the back end. You understand? Just think a business. When you start a business when you just started is gonna cost some money, right? You might run into what you call a loss or what a break even. But there's a point in time in which you're gonna start making profits. Come on.
If I may, sir, like they just invented this new industry called space travel, right? And they're taking all of these celebrities up there for free.
Right.
But the goal is to make it so attractive that people begin to pay.
Yes, and that's what's gonna happen.
Come.
Like they're willing to fulfill fit the bill right now, so that in the future it's going to what? Pay off for what? For them. You understand? Right? Come on.
Ordered the compulsory sterilization of persons with certain disorders or disabilities. The law was patterned on the California state sterilization law, a fact that American eugenicists were very proud of. Now you're seeing a poster which says, "We are not alone" in German, and showing with the many flags, demonstrating that many other countries had some similar kind.
You understand? You ain't gonna learn this in your schools, right? This is dark. This is dark history to them. Dark, real dark. This ain't, you know what I mean? This is something you want to teach a kid to let them know that what? That you are pushing this type of belief. You understand? Right? Read on. Play it.
Policy. 5 of the diseases specifically designated in the legislation represented psychiatric or neurological disorders, including schizophrenia, manic depressive, or what is today bipolar disorder.
Right. So he wasn't. This is Hitler here saying, "This is no. You got this. You're done. Yeah, you didn't have no offspring. Go on.
Hereditary epilepsy, Huntington's chorea, and hereditary feeble-mindedness. Physical conditions which
Hereditary what?
Feeble-mindedness, sir.
Feeble-mindedness. Yes. And you know what I mean? And that's why with the whole dogs, if you want aggressive dog, you're gonna have to what? Breed a what? Aggressive dog. You're gonna have to go get a pit bull, you know what I mean, to breed with a pit bull to get what? A aggressive what? Dog. You understand? Right? Come on.
Sterilization under the new law were hereditary deafness, hereditary blindness, severe hereditary physical deformities, and severe alcoholism, which some physicians felt then as now had a genetic component.
Right. So that's based on their study. We know, you know what I mean, alcoholism, those things are what? Those things are basically what? Learned behavior. You understand what I'm saying? You can't tell me a baby knows what about alcohol. That's you know what I mean? Or a baby knows his gender. You can't give me that. You know what I mean? Those things are learned behavior. But it's in their way, you know what I mean, of trying to be what? Perfect. You understand? Come on.
Is that one of the reasons why they put so much drugs and alcohol in our communities as well?
Yeah.
Is that part of it?
Yeah. All that's part of it to do what? To destroy us. You understand? You will not, okay. If something is adversely affecting his people, he does something about it. You understand? He does something about it. His people were dying from what? Smoking cigarettes. So guess what? He told them to do. Make sure and put on the pack what? That cancer. This can cause cancer. He actually did that for his people. You understand? That wasn't for us. That was a warning to his people. You understand? Right? Like he put things in place. This whole opioid now it's a health problem.
Sir. If I may, sir.
Uh-huh.
When back in the day it was drug abuse.
Right.
Now they call it drug misuse.
You understand? So it's them trying to do what? Look out for their people. Come on.
Yes, sir. And to add on what what the officer was saying. They even allowing them to sue like Walgreens, CVS for over prescribing them the opioids.
You understand? Like that. That's how they look after their people. But when it comes to us, brother, I don't know. You gain all the opioids, right? You gain, I should say, all the drugs, not the opioid, because this they stop giving you what? You come in there with pain, they're giving you what? Just enough for you to make it through the day. You understand? Well, I talk about the real thing, the heroin, the crack. You understand? That type of thing, boy, they're flooding our community with it. You understand? Flooding. You understand? Right? Come on, let's some more play.
Medical professionals were now duty-bound to report patients with these disorders in the exercise of their practice. Proposals for sterilization were adjudicated by hereditary health courts, a Nazi legal invention. By 1936, more than 250 hereditary health courts had been established throughout Germany, with each tribunal comprised of 2 physicians and 1 jurist. If the decision of the court were for sterilization, the 1933 law demanded execution of the sterilization procedure within 2 weeks' time at the designated local hospital or clinic mentioned
Right.
in the verdict.
You didn't have a chance in Germany. You understand? You get deemed retarded. Excuse my language, YouTube. You get deemed, you know what I mean, disabled. Yes, mentally challenged. In 2 weeks' time, the court put us some he mentally ill, sterilized. Right. You know what I mean? Sterilize. Come on.
Paragraph 12 of the law sanctioned the use of force on unwilling victims. Those who attempted to circumvent the procedure were delivered under police guard to the hospital in question. The new law took effect in January of 1934.
Right.
From
And the Lord tells us to do what? To be fruitful and what? Multiply. You know what I mean? Go have them babies. You understand? Have them, man. You're a black woman out there, you thinking about committing an abortion, you give Commander Jeremiah a call before you do it. Right. You understand? Give him a call before you do it. We're going to take that child, man. We done did it already numerous times. One more angle hurt, they're going to add on. You understand? Don't do it, sisters, brothers. Don't do it. You're going to regret it for the rest of your life. I'm telling you, you're going to regret it. All right, come on.
That first day of January 1934 until the end of the war in May 1945, some 400,000 Germans were forcibly sterilized under the terms of the Nazi sterilization law. Who are the victims of Nazi sterilization policy? The vast majority of sterilized Germans suffered from mental rather than physical disabilities or disorders.
So now, where did they get all this from? From where? America. So you can imagine what America was doing to who? Black people, right? You could imagine what it was doing to black people. For them to take that blueprint and run with it on their own people. Guess what it was doing to black people? Worse. Same thing or worse.
Look at the science of what they call it, gynecology.
Right.
Look what they did to the black woman to develop that science.
Yes. You understand? Like, come on.
Nowhere was this more true than in the case of hereditary feeble-mindedness, whose ambiguous diagnosis permitted physicians and psychiatrists to include not only those diagnosed with an actual intellectual disability, but also the socially aberrant, or those whom Nazi medical authorities deemed socially aberrant: vagrants, prostitutes, mothers of illegitimate children, especially if they were on welfare, petty criminals, juvenile delinquents, and in large numbers relative to the German population, Roma and Sinti, so-called gypsies.
Anti-miscegenation laws were racist laws enacted by American
Well,
states to prohibit interracial.
They call it what? They will call it, right? Or they call it what? Racial or racist what? Yes. Right? There was what? There was against it. America had what? Laws where you couldn't be married to what? To a so-called oppressor. Right. You could not do it.
You know, the white man is the devil. At the same time they was doing this, they was raping the
Said the oppressor. Just that's what
Slocky, sir.
YouTube.
The oppressors, the devil. At the same time they was doing this, they was raping our women, man.
Yes, you understand. And I wouldn't say so much. So though that's more so. I'm not saying that they didn't rape our women. They did, but our people like to push the talk that, you know what I mean. How you know that what? How you know you all the way black? You know, see, you're light skinned. That's the first thing they ask you. How you know you're all the way black? You understand? They like to push what? There were a lot of intermixing. Well, no, They were trying to do what? They had laws saying you couldn't be found with what? Yes, you couldn't be found with someone of another race. The laws, or else you'll be what? You'll be killed. Right? Come on.
Marriage and interracial sex. Such laws date far back in American history, but in the 20th century, anti-miscegenation as a policy was also adopted by eugenicists who believed that race mixing would lead to the racial deterioration of the white race.
Right? That's where you get your the Aryan, I think the Aryan Nation, and skinheads, all them, and the Ku Klux Klan. You understand? But the Aryan, if you go do the history on the Aryan, what was the saying? It was first in Germany. The Aryans were non-Germans, were the ones with the lames, the mentally challenged. They were called them Aryans. But now the so-called Aryan nation, they took it and they made it into a superior race that you're trying to push. You understand? All right? Come on.
Original Aryans were like Asiatic people. They weren't Esau.
Right. But what I'm saying is, pertaining to Germany, right, the Germans would say that the Aryans, they were called the non-Germans Aryans. You understand? All right? Come on.
In 1900, sociologist and eugenicist Edward Ross used the term race suicide to disapprove of mixed race relationships.
Right, race suicide. You understand? The Bible believes in what? Race suicide. The Bible does not want us what? Intermingling. You understand? That interracial marriage where they try to push on that TV screen, push it day and night. Where you see a young daughter, a young son seeing these interracial couple on TV and thinking that's society, when that's not even 50% of the society. That's less than that. You understand? At least 50% of the society believe that what? We should be what? Separate. At least. You understand? It could be more. But when you look at TV, you look at the news, you look at advertisement, you think what? That's the way of life. That's what society wants. And it's totally garbage. You understand? And it's against the Most High. You understand? Come on. No, hold on. Tell me, give me Proverbs 23 and 24. Come on. Proverbs 23 and 24.
This book of Proverbs, chapter 23, verse 24.
Mm-hmm.
The father of the righteous shall greatly rejoice.
The father of the what?
The father of the righteous shall greatly rejoice.
Read on.
And he that begetteth a wise child shall have joy of him.
Right? Like, at least get it to that point. At least let's get it there. Give that child that chance to what? To be wise. You understand? Like, the more kids you have, the better it is for you. You're going to get, like, having kids is going to what? Bring you out of poverty. Like, the more kids you have, of course, that's going to be the case. Now, when they grow old and start working, now you're what? You could pull what? More money together, more wealth together. But when you have one child compared to having what? 5 kids, 10 kids, now you see the economics. You understand? Now you see what your oppressor is trying to do. Your oppressor is trying to do what? Stagnate your what? Your economics. So now you have land, they give you land to go work, but guess what? You're no workman. You're nobody to work the land. Nobody. You and your one son go work what? An acre? 2 acres? Whereas if you have 5, 10 kids, that acre is nothing. You understand? Come on.
Verse 25.
Mhm.
Thy father and thy mother shall be glad,
Thy father and I what?
and thy mother shall be glad.
And that's what black women don't understand. They give that child that chance to live. Oh, they're gonna be happy. They don't know it. They don't know it. That time of, you know what I mean, them having to get up early, you know what I mean, lack of sleep or whatever. After a while, that's gonna come what? Bring some joy to see that child grow. You understand? You're going that child gonna bring some type of enjoyment in you. You know what I mean? And a woman, you know what I mean, Lord knows what the Bible say, that she could be what? Saved in what? Childbirth. Could be your whole life, and that child comes, and that child what? Change your entire life. You understand? Stop you from going on that pole. You understand? Yes. So now you know you have to stop what? You got to put that blunt down. Why? So that this child lives. You have to put that pipe down so that what? That child lives. You understand? It gives you what? A fighting chance. You understand? The Bible says it. A woman could be what? Saved in childbirth. Right? Come on.
And she that bare thee shall rejoice.
And she shall bear thee shall what?
Shall rejoice.
Shall rejoice. You understand? Right? But our sisters don't want him to go down that road. Why? Because of the pastor. The Bible says what? The leader of my people will lead them to what? To err. You understand? And it's an error for you to walk into that abortion clinic. Right. You understand? It's an error for you to believe in what this eugenics movement, this Margaret Sanger, this whole woman rights movement. It's an error. You understand? It's against the Bible. You understand? All right? Go on. No. Coming back to where you at right now.
President Theodore Roosevelt in 1902. Virginia's eugenic sterilization law of 1924, which targeted those with insanity, idiocy, imbecility, feeble-mindedness, or epilepsy, became law with another act on the same day. That act was called the Racial Integrity Act. It made unlawful for any white person to marry anyone but another white person. The law was enforced. Infractions constitute felonies punishable with up to 5 years in prison.
You understand? And he's talking about where? In Germany, right? Now, where did the Germans get all that from? America. That's how America was dealing with us. So guess what? He's like, you know what? They're trying to do this. Well, let's take it all the way up. So now Hitler, that's why the whole saying Hitler went to try to make what? Try to make, I forget the term they use, but he tried to make his own what? Race, basically. Come on.
I think he called them the master race.
Yeah, I believe that's the saying, right? But he tried to make that race. And that's from looking at who? How America dealt with who? The slaves. You understand? Come on.
If an interracial couple lived together with married, they could also be charged with what was called fornication.
Right? So he called it what?
Fornication, sir.
Fornication. When we know fornication is what? But fornication to us is having sex outside the race fornication. Yes. And that's what he's trying to push. Our laws. You understand? And that's the oppressor right there for you. You understand? Like he try to, you know what I mean, take the laws, try to take certain things to try to, you know what I mean, put it on himself. You understand? When fornication is having sex outside a race, that is fornication. That's unlawful sex. Come on.
The intended outcome of both acts was the same. to prevent an alleged deterioration of America's racial stock. The law against miscegenation was not divorced from views held by many whites. In the 1950s, a public opinion poll found that the vast majority of white Americans still disapproved of interracial marriage.
So, hold on. In the 19 what? 50s. And we in 2021. You think it's a difference? Now go ask Donald Trump. You understand? Go ask your oppressor if that's any different. You know what I mean? I would be shocked if it ain't worse. No. You understand? All right, come on.
Virginia's anti-miscegenation law remained in effect until 1967, when the US Supreme Court in Loving v. Virginia found such laws unconstitutional. The Loving case refers to an interracial couple that had married in another state and subsequently been sentenced in Virginia to a 1-year prison term.
While the anti-miscegenation
You understand? Like they made laws in America where you couldn't do what? Couldn't practice what? Interracial marriages. When that's already in the Bible.
Right.
You understand? And now for you to come and say in 2021 that the slave master slept with, you know what I mean, all the slave women, brother, you just, you know what I mean, don't want to face the truth. Now the oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of.
Right.
You don't face it. You love Massa. You love him so much that you wish you had his blood in your vein. You wish it. Right? Come on. No, before you go on, give me Exodus 21 and 22. No, whole Exodus 21 and 22, Jeremiah 20 and 17.
Slack out of one.
Yes, genocide of a race. Come on.
You know, I have relatives, right? They know the depth that the oppressor's wicked. And they still try to love him, man. I don't understand that, man.
It's what we call what? Stockholm what? Syndrome. Which you know what I mean, you oppress so much that you begin to what? Love your oppressor, basically. Begin to feel what he feels, hate what he hates. You become like him. You feel you sympathize towards him. You understand? That's why so many black women today believe in this what? Woman is right. When back then it had nothing such as what? Woman's right. Back then it had what? A black family where the black man was the head, and that's it. And she knew it, and she accepted her position, and the black man accepted his position. You understand? Come on.
So, like I said, if I may, so in slavery time, if a owner was found with multiracial babies, that plantation owner would be persecuted by the law?
No, it's not persecuted by the law, right? I don't think it was laws back then. It's telling you that the laws came in later on, right? When they basically said we were what? Free. You understand? But you know what I mean? Like we were just think your oppressor sleeping with a goat or a cow. You know what I mean? He ain't going to jail. You know what I mean? That's his animal basically. You know what I mean? You were like property to him. So it's like whatever. But I would not even say that he was practicing that. That's not what he was practicing. You understand? He was not practicing having sex with his slaves. That's not what he was practicing. And that's what black people would like to push on you, who want to say or want to believe that they have some form of white, you know what I mean, blood flowing through the vein. You understand?
Like,
because of their skin color.
Like Andrew Jackson with Sally Hemings served, like Andrew Jackson in that whole.
Yes. And most of the time it's rape. Like Bob Marley, they ain't gonna tell you came from what? Rape. His mother was raped by a white man. You understand? So he's not one of us. You understand? But that's what it is. You understand? But they won't say they will say like she went in willingly. You telling me in them timing you have a sister going in willingly? Nah. And she was young. I forget how old she was.
He never recognized Bob Marley.
She was 16 or something at the time.
He never recognized Bob Marley as his son either.
No. Right? To let you know that, you know what I mean, how they felt about it. You understand? All right? Go on. No, what tell it to go?
Jeremiah 20 and 17, sir.
Yeah, get up from there.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 20, verse 17. Because he slew me not from the womb, or that my mother might have been my grave.
Or what?
Or that my mother might have been my grave.
The womb is the what? Tomb. Right? Remember this saying they had on that billboard? That the graveyard is now, I forget how the worded it, but it was worded it in a way where it said the woman's womb was a tomb for babies. You understand? And this is what we're reading about here right now. But he is saying it the opposite to what the billboard is basically was trying to push. Not opposite. It's the same thing he's saying, just in a different words, but it's the same thing. Read.
And her womb to be always great with me.
And her womb was what?
To be always great with me.
You black woman, you have those black Israelite baby, those Hispanics, those Native Indian babies in your belly. It's great. Right. And have them. Have lots of them. You understand? The so-called oppressor will have you think that having kids with no money is an issue. It's not an issue. We'll come together and take care of that child, man. You don't have the resources. You call the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Right. Give us a call. We're going to take care of that child. We're going to show you that money ain't the thing. Life means more. You understand? That black child means more. That black child is a heritage unto the Lord. All right, come on.
Verse 18. Wherefore came I forth out of the womb to see labor and sorrow.
To see what?
To see labor and sorrow.
So it's a question he asking, right? To see labor and sorrow. Just like what? What's the excuse some black woman be making also to a black man? That they don't want the child growing up in this dog-eat-dog world. When, if that child grow up in the dog-eat-dog world, teach that child not to live like it's in the dog-eat-dog world. Right. Meaning, how are we going to conquer this dog-eat-dog world if we don't have kids? You understand? Get that kid a chance. Give them kids a chance, man, to show you that they could live and make this place what? A better place to live in. You understand? Come on. Any more on that?
Yes, sir. That my days should be consumed with shame.
That my days shall be what? Consumed with what? Shame. Shame because of what? We're born into poverty. You understand? We're born into your mom and dad on crack. You're born into a family where, you know what I mean, as I say, poor. So poor that, you know what I mean, you can't, you know what I mean, get the sneakers you want, the clothes you want. So now you're ashamed. Shame of being black. When have them babies, and before you know it, you're gonna be looking glorious, man. Right. All right. So give me a little more on that.
As Dr. Kelber describes, have appeared in American law since the colonial period. There were no similar laws in Germany before the Nazi period. We've just seen that these laws were buttressed by eugenic laws in the 19 teens and 20s in the United States. Many Nazi officials were also keen to apply these kinds of laws to German Jews. In September 1935, in the midst of the 7th annual Nuremberg Party Rally, Nazi leaders promulgated the so-called Nuremberg racial laws. And you're seeing a chart from the Times which tried to demonstrate how the Nuremberg laws applied to Jews. These Nuremberg laws are significant because they laid the foundation for all future anti-Jewish legislation in Nazi Germany. The second of these laws was the Law for the Protection of German Blood.
Stop it there. Go to Go to Psalms 106 and 38. Psalms 106 and 38. This is the last scripture here, and then I'm going to pass the class over to the priest. But you're holding for me. Exodus 1. 21 and 22. Go ahead. You have it?
I got Psalms, sir.
Go ahead and read Psalms to me first.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 106, verse 38. And shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and of their daughters, whom they sacrificed unto idols of Canaan.
Right? It's the same exact thing. When you sacrifice, the sacrifice you're making is you trying to live the American dream at the cost of murdering your child. You're trying to have a career over having a child. So you're telling me your career worth more than a life? Ridiculous. You're going to regret it for the rest of your life, woman. Right. Man, you're going to regret it for the rest of your life, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We are going to regret it for the rest of our lives. You understand? That's a crime against God. Don't do it. That child belongs to the Most High, not you. Stop being selfish. All right? Give me, what's the next one I call?
Exodus 21 and 22.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 21, verse 22. If men strive and hurt a woman with child, so that her fruit depart from her.
Right, and this is in the law. Like Esau tried to do what? Your oppressor says what? Right, you need to have abortion. He makes it legal. But if a man kills a pregnant woman, he gets what? Double murder. Right, that's when the double murder comes into play. You understand? When there's a child in that woman, there's growth in that woman, then there's life. But with abortion, they say is what? There's no life in there. Right? None. Right? But the Bible clearly shows you that there's what? Life in there.
Right.
And if anything happens to that child, you're going to have to do what? Pay. Right? Give me Psalms 106 and 38. Somebody just read that? Psalms 106 and 38. Okay, we just read that. One more. Wisdom of Solomon 12 and 5. All right, so this here you could put with a precept for abortion. All right. And have those babies, man. You know what I mean? Have those, you know what I mean? Have those glorious kids. And don't listen to what our oppressor is trying to push on us.
Right.
You know what I mean? Put school on a hold if needs be for that life. The Lord is going to honor that more than you killing that baby to go to school. You understand? You're going to kill that baby, go to school, and you're going to be mentally messed up for the rest of your life, knowing that you're a murderer and you're walking free. You understand? Come on.
Officer Kowal commented they consider a speck of life organism, bacteria as life on Mars, but they don't consider a child in the womb alive.
Yeah, correct. Great point. You understand? They know they consider life on Mars a speck. You understand? That little whatever, you got to see it under a microscope. You understand? That's life. But when it comes to a woman, not that's in your belly.
Right.
You understand? Because the baby can't what? Scream and cry and say, don't kill me. You understand? Right? Come on.
What, the Wisdom of Solomon, sir?
Yeah, 12 and 5.
This book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12, verse 5. And also those merciless murderers of children and devourers of man's flesh and the feast of blood.
You understand? That's your abortion right there. You are merciless if you walk into that clinic and come and kill that child. You are merciless, and God is going to deal with you as a merciless person. Right. You understand? You think because you walk out there with life, think everything is going to be okay? Nah. The Lord is going to answer the blood of that child that's on your hand. He's going to answer it. He is. Because you killed that child, that innocent child. That child ain't doing nothing. That child didn't tell you go open your leg and go get pregnant. That child didn't do that. You understand? Then don't make the child pay for your mistake. That's your mistake. Right. You understand? That's not a child mistake. A child ain't a mistake. You understand? So don't do that, black sisters, Hispanic sisters, brothers and sisters. Don't do it. You understand? Oh, Presser, he made the eugenics movement for himself. And then Margaret Sanger came and took it and ran and then turned it into pushing abortion. And now it's prevalent. It's, it's rampant in our black community. You understand? Like you don't hear about no abortion clinic in Mogadishu. Or in, Africa where them, you seen flies on them baby lip. You understand? And baby belly swell because of malnutrition. But there's no abortion clinic there telling the woman to go abort their kids. Don't have the babies because you all are going through a famine right now. They ain't doing that. But with us, they're doing it. Yeah, they're doing it. And the reason why you're not able to sit down and think and to, to really understand what's being done with you today in America, you understand, is because America is Egypt. You understand? And Egypt made sure you was working hard to the point whereas you had no time to sit down and think. You had no time to sit down and think. The only time you have is the time to rest and to get back up, make whatever you had to make, and head back out again to make money. You understand? So have them babies, man. All right? And with that, I'm going to pass the class over to Priest and Officer Yanizar. Very good. Look at that.
Shalom, Israel. Once again, we are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, in 1969, under Commandant General Yohana. Security announcements. New rules for brothers and sisters. Also, we're not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or a sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Means 10th in the Hebrew and is pronounced ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the Treasury Department. I got a question about that class too, sir. Okay. Priest fund, free will offering for priest, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocation. Remind Akim and Akwathium to check on social media such as isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Khan, that's February 15th. Yes. Khan, sir. Salakia, sir. Dwada. Upcoming holy convocation is the Feast of Purim, which I think will occur on February 15th. Okay? Remind Akim and Akwathium to check on social media such as isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and material. I can't stress to you